Hey family, and welcome back. MarshaunO here, your favorite life and relationship strategist, and I help Christian women that are married or in long-term relationships to stop feeling disconnected and unloved and shift you to feeling heard, understood, and appreciated. Now, before we jump into today's topic, I want to invite you to download your free relationship resource library. Now, why should you download this free relationship resource library? Well, number one, it's free. Number two, it is a guide. It is a reference and a resource for you to go to and say, you know what, I really need some quick access to help without needing to speak to somebody. This is what this is going to help you do, to quickly access some quick tips, some quick strategies, and then being able to implement them into your relationship or your marriage so you can turn something around, whatever it is that you're going through. Maybe it's an argument, maybe you need better communication, maybe you need better understanding, maybe you need deeper connections. All of this is within this free relationship resource library. So go ahead and download yours. That link is down in the description box below. However, I will mention it here at bit.ly/relationship library. Again, that is bit.ly/relationship library. Now, let's talk about forgiving your spouse and how to let things go. Listen, forgiveness is essential in every single relationship that is out there, specifically your romantic relationship, specifically towards your spouse or towards your partner, towards the person that you're going to be the most intimate with. Sometimes we have a tendency to hurt one another. Most times unintentionally, sometimes it is intentionally, let's just be honest. But most times it's unintentionally, where you're feeling like your spouse said something and you didn't realize that it was going to hurt you in the way that it did. And a lot of times we're not speaking up. We're not voicing these things that we need to ultimately just get off of our chest. And so when we don't voice these things, we end up building up anger, we end up building up resentment, and those things come out in the form of you just being nasty, or you just being angry, or you just being saying some mean thing. All of that is rooting from you holding on to that thing. Or maybe you're not as affectionate as you once were. Maybe you've seen yourself starting to pull back. All of that is because you are lacking the tools in order to speak up. Why you're lacking those could be a plethora of reasons, but definitely you need to be able to speak up in your relationship to feel comfortable. So because of all of that, you need to be able to forgive and then let that thing that you're holding on to go. So how do we do that? I'm glad that you asked me how, because we're going to address that right now. One of the first things is that you must be open and receptive to receiving the forgiveness and giving the forgiveness as well. In this case, we're talking about receiving the forgiveness, because some people are just not even open to receiving forgiveness. We just want to hold on to that thing because you know about this comfort level, even though it is bringing you some type of destruction in your relationship. You're not looking at it like that. You're like, you know what? This is where I'm at. And if I forgive him or if I forgive her, then I no longer can be angry for no reason, because that anger is a comfort level for you, and you don't realize how it's actually destroying your relationship. So first of all, you must be open and receptive to forgiving as well as being forgiven. The second thing is that you must make a conscious decision to forgive your partner or spouse for the thing or things, because this is going to be a running theme in your relationship. You're going to have to find ways, time, and energy, and make it a conscious effort to forgive your spouse over and over and over again. Because here's the thing, none of us are perfect. And as much as we consciously know that none of us are perfect, we still believe and get hurt and get upset when our spouse hurts our feelings. So you have to make a conscious decision to say, you know what? I am going to forgive him over and over again. I'm going to forgive her over and over again, because the truth be told, I really love him. I really love her. And I want this relationship or marriage to work. Not just because it has to work, but because why would I not want my relationship to work out? Like, really? There could be a ton of things that follow that, but why wouldn't you want your relationship to work out? Why would you not try to put as much time, energy, and effort into the person that you're lying next to at night, or saying that I love? Why keep up the animosity? Why keep the resentment when all you have to do is to say, I'm sorry, or to forgive that person when they come to you the first time, instead of holding on to things. And then they're trying to figure out, well, should I go back? Well, maybe I'll just start being angry. And all of that is a circle of destruction. Okay, so be open and receptive, which is number one, to forgive it and to be forgiven. And then also number two, make a conscious decision to forgive your spouse. And then number three is think of your happy place when you think of this transgression again. So whenever this transgression comes up in your mind, start to go to your happy place, because you don't want, I'm not saying that you cannot think about this thing, but I don't want you to stay stuck thinking about the thing that your spouse or partner did to you, because that is not going to bring you any happiness. You're going to stay stuck in that negative state, and then you're also going to be stuck in a negative mind frame, but it's also going to be in your body language. It's also going to be in the way that you respond or even speak to your spouse. So think of that happy place whenever that transgression comes up or pops up into your mind. All right. Number 4, refrain from throwing that act back into your spouse or partner's face. Here's the thing. A lot of times we superficially forgive somebody, but deep down inside, the roots, we did not forgive him or forgive her. We just verbally said it. But here, deep in our roots, in our heart, we did not really forgive our spouse. And because you did not really forgive, this is when you get ticked off again, pissed off again, angry again, mad again. And then all of a sudden you're throwing up that thing that he or she did to you that you claim that you forgave them for. So you cannot do that. You cannot do that. You're going to start a vicious, horrible cycle where your partner's going to feel like, well, it doesn't matter if you say that you forgive me. You really don't anyway, because I'm going to hear about it later on. You don't want to allow or even start that vicious cycle, because once you get started, it's hard to get out of. Can you get out of it? Yes, but it's hard to get out of. So why even go down that road in the first place? Make a conscious decision not to do that. So that's number 4. Number 5 is to accept that you may never know the reason for the betrayal in the first place. Again, some things that we do are on a subconscious level, so we don't even realize that we're doing something stupid sometimes. Other times, of course, we realize it, but when we realize it, we have to figure out, okay, I need to change this thing around, because this is actually harming my relationship. This is harming the connection that I claim that I want. So why am I, literally ask yourself this question. Why am I sabotaging? Why am I so hell-bent to sabotage this relationship? Yeah, why are you so hell-bent on sabotaging the relationship that you claim that you want, the connection that you claim that you want, the connection that you actually crave? And that comes from something deep-rooted within you that happened many years ago. Most times it had nothing to do with your spouse or partner, but they are the ones who are paying for that very thing. And it's because it is baggage to you, and you never took care of that baggage. And so now it's coming up in the form of, you think that whatever happened in your past, that baggage is what you're carrying into your relationship. And now you're punishing your spouse or partner for that very thing, because you never dealt with it. You never forgave whoever did that thing to you years ago. All right? So that's actually what's happening with you. So accept that you may never know why that betrayal happened in the first place. Number 6 is refrain from seeking revenge. That is going to kill the relationship. That is going to destroy the relationship all over again. And whenever you feel that you are in revenge mode, you, the person who is seeking that revenge, will be on the losing end of the stick. Please understand, you will be on the losing end of the stick, because whenever your partner or spouse finds out what you actually did, what you said, whatever that revengeful act that you did, usually when that happens, there's no turning back. And the relationship that you secretly wanted the entire time now goes away. And then what? Refrain from seeking revenge. Yeah, I'm telling you. And then the number 7, which is the last tip that I have for you, is to be patient. Be patient with yourself. Be patient with your spouse or partner, because forgiveness takes time. It's one day at a time, one moment at a time. The trust is going to start rebuilding, but you have to learn how to forgive yourself, forgive your spouse or partner, and then let that stuff go. Because if you're a believer like me, then you know that Jesus said to forgive people how many times? 70 times 7. That's a whole lot of time. That's a whole lot of time. I think it's actually 77 times 7. But the point is, it's a whole lot of times. And most people do not want to give that much grace, that much mercy to their spouse or partner. But in order to go the long haul, you have to be aware that there are going to be many moments where you have to forgive your spouse. And here's the thing, there are going to be many moments where your spouse has to forgive you as well. So be open to the possibility, be open and receptive to forgiving as well as being forgiving. I'm MarshaunO, your favorite life and relationship strategist. And if you need some help with getting your relationship together, becoming a better person, creating those deeper connections, then reach out to me. Let's have a chat. Get on my Calendly link at MarshaunO.com. Get on my calendar so we can talk. So we can eventually work together to help you on the path from getting where you are, which is usually in a rut, to getting out of that rut so you can experience the beautiful relationship that you crave. I love you guys. There's nothing that you can do about it, and we will talk very, very soon. Bye.